everybody, I'm Sara Hand and this is my husband Brady. We're so thankful that you guys are joining us and watching our story as we open up about the difficulties with growing our family and our autoimmune diseases that we face. We hope that by opening up that it inspires others to not feel so alone and just really understand some of these difficult challenges that we face.
And as we go through all the complexities of the autoimmune diseases in our constant longing for a child, we realize that all of this pain is not just ours to bear, that there's many others out there that we are with as a group that we want to be a part of and share everything with you guys.
This journey has been an emotional roller coaster. We've had hope followed by heartbreaks, especially through the IVF process. And it's been a continued cycle as we navigate the complexities of treatment and the symptoms of lupus, and we just continue to struggle with that.
The financial burden has put another layer of stress on everything. As we go through medical treatments, medications, through the IVF process, it's added a lot of stress for us during these times. It was a handful of years ago I found out that I had Kallman syndrome, which at the time we knew would create complexities as we try to conceive a child. So in January of 2021, as we tried, after months and months of negative test results, we went into the doctors, and the first thing that came out of the doctor's mouth was IVF. So as we go through this, IVF has put a lot of stress and a lot of financial burden on us to where it is stressful during this time, and we hope to find our way through it and continue to keep our faith strong.
In February 2023, we started our first round of IVF, and for those of you who don't know what IVF is, it basically consists of a lot of shots in the stomach to help produce more eggs, and I am absolutely terrified of needles. I want nothing to do with them, and so my anxiety was absolutely through the roof going into this IVF round, and Brady really made it easier for me because he did all the shots for me.
And I praise Sarah for going through all of the shots. It was something that I was nervous for her going through the process because I knew how much she hated shots. So after all the shots, it was February 14th, we went through egg retrieval. We had 5 eggs retrieved, and at that point after the retrieval, we found out that Sarah had low ovarian egg reserve, which means that she has a lower count of eggs than a normal person. We were expecting to have anywhere from 12 to 15 eggs, and we were kind of disappointed with just the 5 that we came out with.
And from that process, it basically dwindles down, and we chose to do the genetic testing, and that basically rules out any wrong chromosomes, anything of that nature. And so from 5 eggs, we actually dwindled down to 2 embryos. And of those 2 embryos, only 1 came back as a euploid, which means a normal embryo. So at the end of the day, that really only meant that we had 1 chance for a transfer. And we ended up doing that transfer on April 11th. And we were pregnant when we got the blood test about 9 days later. So we were super ecstatic. We couldn't believe that God gave us this miracle. But then that was shortly lived because I started bleeding, and so we went in and found out that I had a subchorionic hemorrhage, and it turned out to be quite large. With those, there's nothing the doctors can do other than just let your body do its thing. And so then the next week we went in for our first officially ultrasound, and came in super excited and left devastated because we found no heartbeat.
We were crushed at that point. We were devastated. We were kind of just in awe of the whole situation. We didn't know what to think during the process. We both grieved differently, so it kind of put a little wedge in between our marriage, and we ended up going to counseling. It was just a very stressful time period for us to go through that time, and through this whole process, as we grew further into the process, we found out that Sarah also had to have a DNC, which kind of was just heartbreaking, knowing that we had to go through more procedures, more financial stress, more medical expenses, just knowing that we had no chance of conceiving at that time. We were fortunate for our church group leader, Kelsey, who has nominated us for Lend a Hand Up. we are accepted into Lend a Hand Up, which is a fundraising program which helps us with all of our medical expenses for our autoimmune diseases and infertility issues. So with Lend a Hand Up, we actually receive 100% of the proceeds, and then Lend a Hand Up actually boosts that amount by 20%, in which we'll receive as well.
Our goal is to raise $25,000 and receive the full $5,000 match through Lend a Hand Up. We continue to see medical expenses from rheumatology, endocrinologists, maternal fetal medicine, hematology, and as those bills grow, this will help cover some of those costs. Achieving this fundraiser goal would mean the world to us as we start and try to grow our family. Every donation, no matter big or small, will make a difference and bring us one step closer to having a family.
We are just so thankful for the generosity that we've seen from family in our community. Every dollar means the most to us, whether you give a little bit or nothing. Just prayers, everything helps in the greater scheme of things and helping us achieve our goal in growing our family. If you visit our link, which is linked above, we will receive 20% boost on the proceeds that are gone through that link.
If there's one thing that this journey has taught us, it is that no one should walk this alone. So as we open up about our story, we really hope that others will reach out to us and we can be that building block and that community support for anybody going through infertility or even just autoimmune diseases. We have walked a hard road and we are open and being vulnerable, and we just invite you into that with us, and we hope to share our journey along the way.